we're back.
Episode wheat.
Wheat. Look at you, parlez-vous français.
Je suis assez couramment. Common fleuve.
You are actually quite good at French. Let's just put it out there.
But when I did live in France, the first thing I did when we went to, it was tied in with the university, like learning French, and I just wanted to know all the slang and the swear words. And the French don't seem to have many swear words. We talked about all the silly words for pants the other day.
Yeah,
but the French don't hardly have any. So I was like, what was the thing? I wanted to know how you say it. I live on the edge. I was saying I live on the edge.
Crazy. I live
and they were like,
on the edge.
Oh, j'habite sur le trottoir. And I was like, what's that mean? It means I'm living on the pavement, which doesn't quite have the same.
No, it's not quite the same. I think that's with languages a lot. There is a bit of that, isn't it? The lost in translation to the sort of little
But then,
slang
do you remember Max the Truncheon?
Yes.
Was teaching me about a brilliant phrase, and I thought I'd remember it, and I haven't. I'll text him again. But they have a phrase. So he said to me once, we saw this girl, and she had no bum.
Is this when you were naked in the bar again?
No, we had clothes on.
Go back and listen.
We had clothes on. And he said, he suddenly came up with this brilliant Italian phrase. I was like, what's that mean? He goes, it means the girl with the ice cream van, you know, those little wheelie ones.
Trolley.
Going downhill. So, you know, when you walk downhill and you're holding something heavy, you have to kind of tuck your bum underneath you to stop it going forward so you lose your arse.
Oh.
They have a phrase for that.
That's
specifically for Italian girls with no arses.
It's got to be gelato, hasn't it? It's got to be linked to gelato.
Maybe gelato was in it, but it was quite a long phrase. I'll get it off him, but it was just brilliant. And
ice cream trolley with flat bum.
Yeah, it was something along those lines.
That catchy phrase.
Sounded better in Italian.
So for France, you were living in France for a bit, weren't you?
Clermont-Ferrand.
Did you just take yourself off?
Well, a friend of mine,
find yourself.
Gordon Arthur, who is, if he took himself to Saint Etienne in the middle of France as well and learned French, and I thought if he can do it,
did he? I didn't actually know that.
So it was because of him that I went. I thought if he can do it, and we can hardly speak English, and then I thought, you know, I'll do it. And I went to Clermont, sold all my kit. I was landscaping at the time, sold all my kit so I could live, I thought, for about 9 months without having to work, so I could be a full-time student and try and get good at French in the middle of Clermont. It was the most scary. That's when I got, what's it called? That ginger girl I told you about. What's it called when you get fish? What's it called?
I don't know what you mean. No, you do. I can't remember.
Fish. When someone fakes who they are online and stuff.
Phishing or like fish. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so this girl, I rang up.
So the olden days before.
I rang up the uni.
Online.
And no one at this Clermont uni, could speak English. And they basically pulled a student walking down the corridor and said, can you speak to this guy? Because he doesn't speak any French.
It's this weird English.
And so she spoke English and she goes, okay, yeah, fine. I said, look, I don't know what to do. And she goes, well, I'll meet you at the station. I thought, hello.
Some gorgeous French girl.
Anyway, without being rude, she was quite a big ginger girl. And then what I didn't realise...
You might have thought the same. She said, bloody hell, not another ginger.
What I didn't realise is, so in France, you can't get an apartment or student accommodation without a bank account, and you can't get a bank account without accommodation. So, and I had neither. So I had a bit of cash to start with, but I had money in my account, in my English account, but I was trying to set up an account in France. Anyway, she just kept fishing me or faking, saying, oh no, there's no apartments available, no apartments. So I basically see her every day so she could help me. Yeah.
Bunny boiler.
She was quite scary.
Proper bunny boiler. If you don't know what that is, go and watch.
So anyway, eventually I then found out from her best friend, who told me that she was winging me along, and then eventually found a flat in the hoods.
Was that before or after you were living in your car for a bit?
Her car was after. That was when I was fruit picking in Perpignan.
Hobo.
With my dog, with my beagle. I befriended a stray dog that gave me fleas.
What was its name? Do you remember? No.
I don't think I
Just
gave
beagle.
it a name. But he used to like...
Fleagle.
When I cooked on the open fire, he used to like my sausages.
So basically you're just like a wild wooded man, aren't you, with your wood nymphs?
Well, I wasn't old enough to grow a beard then, so I wasn't really...
Bless. Anyway, from you just saying the number 8 in French, that's started a whole conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to me. Thank you.
Sorry.
I've been ill.
Oh, I gave you it, didn't I?
So, last week, sick boy here was sick. We've had the horriblest gastro bug. I'm not even going to give it a name because we don't actually know what it is, but it's some horrible gastro bug.
Is there a phrase for throwing up and pooing at the same time?
There's sharting, which is pooing yourself and farting, isn't it?
No, isn't that? Oh, yeah.
You shart. You fart and you poo yourself.
Oh, I
Shart.
see. But there must be a phrase for.
Well, you got it first, and to be fair, you did have probably the worst version. Oh no, let's not compare. It's not a competition
No,
anyway.
definitely not.
We were flipping ill. You were ill first, and I really thought I dodged a bullet and got away with it for a whole week.
I was quite good, wasn't I? I was wearing masks.
Well,
I
we're
was
incubating
cleaning
you.
everything
We're
up.
very fortunate that we have more than one bathroom in this house, so we could incubate you in one
But then you
area.
stupidly went to clean one of the bathrooms that I'd been using. I don't know why you did that.
I don't know why you used the bathroom downstairs, because maybe it was an emergency.
Yeah, it was. Remember, we had people here.
People. Yes, and I don't, whether I got it then or not, I'd managed to get away with it for a week. That day, I very quickly cleaned the toilet because it needed doing. And then that evening, about 5 p.m.
I'm feeling a bit salivery.
Well, we'd walked...
Salivary.
We'd walked along the river to go and get your motorbike, because it's been for service. As I was walking back by myself, I had what I thought was a low blood sugar moment again.
Which you've had before.
And so found some random sweet or something in my
floor.
Yeah.
Great. Maybe that was the reason.
It's in my bag.
Okay.
And so I had that, which didn't normally I would like.
I mean, your bag is another story as well.
Okay, that's a whole nother episode. But I normally quite like sweets. So, and I was eating the sweet and thinking, it's not working for me. And then just felt a bit out of it. Walked home, got in, had some water because I was really thirsty. Weird. And then went, not feeling too great. Had a little illness. And then went upstairs. I thought, this is it.
You are not a person who likes to throw up.
I was hating
Who
every
is it?
second.
Is it Flynn as well? Or is it Amber?
Flynn hates doing it. Amber and I are just noisy. Amber and I have the same
You sound like the
style.
Exorcist.
We've talked about this. We don't need to go into more details. In a previous episode, if you really, really want to know about how I throw up, you can go back and listen. But it was so horrific. Again, if you're eating, apologise. But you had it for a week. I then had it for about 12 hours, I reckon. I had a whole...
Well, I didn't have mine throwing up for a week. Yeah.
No, you were ill for like 24 hours or something, and then you...
Yeah, I think
just
mine
had
started
a
at
real
11.
gut ache or whatever.
Yeah, it was obviously a bug in the stomach, because every time, and still when I eat now,
Still.
it's a bit of discomfort.
Like 2 weeks on, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was ill, but horrible. And then I remember I said to you, it's so violent and so sudden, and that's why it's a horrible, horrible bug to get. It's not like a normal sickness bug. And I think I messaged you, said, could you bring a black plastic bag?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
And a bowl.
She's killed someone.
I'm putting the body in it.
Oh yeah, you had to make a
I had to have a
biohazard.
biohazard bag. I just need a bio. There were multiple items of clothing that needed to go in the biohazard bag. No details more than that. Anyway, so that was the horribleness.
We
and
haven't
then,
slept together.
Right, hang on. Let's get back to that. Right, Jesus.
I don't. Almost
Right.
related.
And then, so you had it almost like the strongest strain because you're still suffering. I'm okay now, nearly back to eating properly, but not quite. And then Flynn managed to get the shortest.
But he's
sprint
blaming
version.
the chicken Kiev. He's been telling all his mates at school that it was just a food thing. It wasn't a bug.
Yeah, but he had a temperature. He had like...
Yeah, but you get that from food poisoning. Not food poisoning. Yeah, of course you
Okay, well, let's just say he got that then, because otherwise it was the shortest living bug in the world that he got, which was brilliant. I was quite worried, thinking, oh, God. Because then we'd also seen my mum. I'd hugged your mum like the day before I got mine. But I think because I got it, that literally you get it and it's done. You can't do anything about it.
Pardon me.
Anyway, bugs.
So we've moved on, and now we seem to be. I trained yesterday.
Everybody's had
You're
bugs.
back. We're going out for a bike ride today.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Take that out. We're going for a bike ride today.
Okay, we're going for a bike ride today,
There we are,
people.
Nice. This is a new couple.
So winter bugs is a thing, really, isn't it? Because we're into winter now, proper winter almost.
Every time the clocks change, every time, I would say 20 to 25% of our clientele go down with bugs. And I don't know if it's... Because obviously nothing really changes apart from the light that we receive.
Well, we've got an extra hour sleep. So how does that happen? So normally it's the other one, isn't it? When you lose sleep.
Yeah, I just think there's more bugs at this time of year. People, I don't know. I think people's immune support is down a bit because it is darker. It's winter. There's less daylight generally.
Do you think it's because they've just caned it all over the summer?
I don't know.
And they go back to work and it's dark and gloomy. Everything's just a bit...
So this is what I was saying to you about, you know how I've stopped wearing mine. But you know, you get all this wearable tech. I mean, even
Hold on.
Jesus.
No.
Have you got an agenda? You're looking at an agenda again.
I am going to announce a permanent feature on the podcast. The executive producers of this podcast had a meeting. I was in it. Obviously,
Was I involved?
No, you're not an exec. You're not in the production.
Am I anything?
You're talent.
Who am I?
Yeah, you're known as talent.
What's
apparently.
that?
That just means you just talk. You're just the person who comes on and talks. You're not involved in the production. You're not involved in any of that at the moment because you're too busy doing other things. So that's why.
Okay.
Anyway, so the executive producers, myself, Blair and Helen, had a meeting and we've decided we're going to call this slot until further notice, Mark's Bits. Mark's Bits.
Is it?
It's like Prestige Worldwide.
What was that from?
Step Brothers. We watched it the other day. Just reminded me of
very
that.
funny.
When we were
That's
discussing it on thing, I was going, Mark's Bits.
Yes, we could do a presentation, put it up on the screen. Can we get graphics?
Hose and
Just a
whatever it
picture
was.
of me with my last
Bits.
turkey.
Mark's Bits.
Yeah.
No.
What was it called? Nutscape.
Nutscape. Oh, right. Go on, explain Nutscape and then we'll get back to Mark's Bits.
There's a place in North Devon called Saunton Sands.
Just Nutscaping generally, and then you can explain.
Well, apparently it's quite a big thing where you take a profile from behind of your testicles hanging down, but with beautiful scenery in the background.
So it's like a what's the word?
Don't know.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. But we did a very good one on Saunton Sands, which is now called Saunton Clans from WP, named that, which was very good. Very good. So
it's a silhouette. That's the word I'm looking for.
That's the word.
I'm looking for a silhouette shot of
I don't know how that came about, but
Can
anyway.
I just explain also how that picture was taken? It was literally, we should all be arrested. It was in the middle of a half-term week or something like that. So it was quite busy, October half-term week on Saunton Sands. And you're in the middle of this like massive expanse of sandy beach, if you've ever been to Saunton Sands.
Used to land bombers on that.
Exactly. So there's nowhere to hide. It's literally just sand, sea, and then dunes behind you. We decided in the middle of the beach for you to do this shot.
I didn't decide.
Well, you involved yourself in it. You didn't say, no, this is totally inappropriate. I shan't do it.
I'm a sheep, not a lion. I just go with the flow.
Any excuse to get your bits, literally Mark's Bits out. So
that's
we
what
had
should
to
be
make...
the image on the background when you put this Mark's Bits, and a nice nutscape. No.
Maybe. We'll see what Blair decides. Okay. Executive producer. And so we made a huddle around you, which was all horrific.
But a lot of the shots didn't work to start with because we were laughing so heavily that everyone was going up and down.
Yeah. Well, you can't move. It's got to be static. It has to get a
you
clear...
You don't want a blurred. It was a beautiful shot.
outline.
I don't know if it happened to that shot.
Oh, hopefully it's been burnt. Anyway, Mark's Bits. You're going to talk about sleep.
Yes. Well, more about tracking devices.
Tracking, and also I think what I would like to know is the whole immune system, like winter bugs things. We were just discussing it. Continue.
Thank you. The talent shall now talk.
Over to you, Mark's Bits.
So there's lots of wearable tech now. Aura rings, people might have heard of. We wear around your ring, a wing around your finger. Whoop bands. Obviously,
these are really not good words for you to say.
Whoop is okay because it's meant to be.
Whoop, wings, and
Apple Watches now. So the Apple Watch apparently will be developed. I don't know which version, but in the future we'll be able to also measure.
Hang on, let's just wait for the burp to go.
Yeah,
okay.
Constant glucose monitoring as well.
Oh wow.
So that would be quite phenomenal as well.
How does it do that then?
Using a little laser at the back. You know how
I was going to say, because normally they're like...
Not a laser, but some sort of infrared or something.
Attached, don't they, more?
Yes, yeah, they have to actually go subdermal and so on. So anyway, so all of this wearable tech, an Apple Watches will tell you, your sleep. I don't know quite how it does sleep, but it obviously does movement and tracking your movement and steps and stuff. But the wearable tech now, the thing that I found, so I wore mine for quite a lot, and it's quite good at showing trends, and it shows you if your resting heart rate's going up. It's a sign that you're either stressed or overtrained or not enough recovery. Same with the Whoop band. There's HRV, which is that little period between your heartbeats, which tells you if you're in a kind of parasympathetic stress or non-stress state and all of that stuff, which is all brilliant, and it does show you trends. But my question is to me and to all my clients and everyone else is like, when you see those trends happening, in the world we live in now, how many people actually do something about it? So you go, okay, my resting pulse is starting to go up. my sleep quality's gone down. But in the world we live in now, you might have like a massive meeting the next day. You're not going to ring up and say, "So I'm not going in today because my HRV's dropped a bit. I need to recover." It's like, I don't know, we get so much information about everything now, everything. And I almost think it was quite useful to look at trends and you go, okay, when we've got clients, if they drink more than 1 unit of alcohol, their sleep quality drops. But so for some clients, if they have that 1 unit, it's a bit of a delineation. They finish their day, have a drink, and they feel great. And actually their sleep quality improves. And there was one client, I think I told you about this, that we gave him this bit of kit called First Beat, which was a bit more advanced. It's got 3 lead ECG and it looks at HRV and sleep quality and really does monitor sleep rather than just a bit of it's estimating with the rings. And one night he had this amazing sleep. And we were like, well, what did you do?
Oh, yes.
And he was like, and he went a bit sheepish and he went, I had sex. I was like, right. So I knew his wife. So I then emailed his wife and said,
For his health.
Oh, I just gave his name. Beep. He needs to have sex every night now to improve his sleep. But so what I'm saying is that because the world we live in now is so manic, how many people can actually then go, okay, there's definitely signs that I am not recovered well enough. I'm just going to take a half day off,
or like if it was like a thing like a stress thing, then you try and avoid things that you know stress you, maybe. So if someone who literally has to have like 5 double espressos first thing in the morning before your meeting, you might eliminate some of those factors or take a less stressful way to work. Do you know what I mean? There are small changes that could make a difference for people.
Yes, they do.
But I agree with you that people, all they're doing, they're looking at the tech and going, oh my God, I'm going to have a really bad... They're already decided in their head, I'm going to have a crap day because I didn't sleep well, because my thing says I didn't sleep well and I'm stressed, so everything's going to go wrong today.
And then the problem is when you are stressed and tired, without going into the deep science of kind of hormonal changes, but then your appetite suppression changes, so you start craving more sugary foods. It's all a bit of a downward spiral. So it's trying to read it. It's trying to be kind of proactive rather than reactive and going, okay, I've had 2 manic days. I need to have a chill day. I need to go to bed earlier.
Yeah, just like sometimes the small changes, I think, whether they're like many small changes are easier to implement than like massive lifestyle huge changes. So like you say, cut down on caffeine or drink more water.
Sleep is, you
said,
go
to bed an hour earlier, even 15 minutes earlier. Like we're constantly nagging Flynn because he's forgotten that he has to get up at 6:40 every morning.
But he calls us old school because we've always been in the rules that no phones, no TVs in their rooms.
Yeah, and generally that has been brilliant for them because.
But what happens? Why? How can we do that for kids? And then as soon as you get to adult, like, oh fuck it, we'll get phone right by your bed. You've got people all on their phones until they fall asleep with their phone in their hand. And you're like, wait a minute. So you care about your kids' health, but then as soon as you get to an adult, you're like, all of those rules go out the window. You're like, just.
Yeah, I get that to a little bit of a point because people are, when you're nurturing children, they're still growing and developing. Whereas as an adult, I also understand what you're saying, but I think as an adult, it's just a different mentality of, it's like dogs. We feed our dogs pure, amazing food and they have to exercise and they have to do this routine to be the best in health they can. But people don't do the same for themselves. So you've got your friend, doctor friend, who we're not going to name, who created the dog diet.
Oh, that was a very good... He got in a lot of trouble for that. That was when he was being filmed as a young GP. And this this woman, he got called on the tannoy, and his GP room was upstairs anyway. This woman was heavily overweight and took no lift, took a bit of time to come up. And I think they had, 8 minutes? Something ridiculous as a GP to see someone. And she was like, look, you don't tell me about my weight. Don't tell me about all the lifestyle choices. I'm not interested. I just want the drugs to stop the pain in my knees and so on. And then he said, well, have you thought about the dog diet? She was like, what's that? He goes, you get a dog, you give it half your food and take it for a walk every day. And then he got in a lot of trouble for that. But it's great.
Totally makes sense there, huh?
Yeah, there we are. The dog diet.
Okay, Mark Spitz.
Nutscape. Yep. No, sorry.
It's like some weird Tourette's.
Sorry.
Nutscape. Also.
Oh.
My lovely green glasses that I'm wearing. Thank you. Let's just have a conversation about these. So for weeks, and I've had these months. Months.
6 months maybe, Susie.
Even more.
But
Who
I've
knows?
forgotten what you...
No.
Oh,
Right.
here we go.
The story starts...
It started with a kiss.
Maybe.
Did actually.
So, these glasses,
We
which
don't
I
kiss
love.
much anymore.
Oh, for fuck's sake. There's a reason. You keep fucking interrupting me.
I was listening to Rob Beckett and Josh Whittaker when they were talking about kissing.
Whatever. I'm just going to interrupt you.
Couples don't kiss.
Dip.
Right.
Dip.
Sorry.
No. So annoying. Anyway, my glasses.
Yeah.
Someone went to the same opticians, Specsavers, to get new glasses because they'd lost their other ones.
Yes. Left them in a hotel in Sweden.
And I had been with this person wearing said green glasses in the morning. The same morning he was going to the opticians. He went to the opticians and bought these glasses. Look at him.
But
So go and watch on YouTube if you can't see us.
these glasses are only really for the motorbike, so we don't cross
matter.
paths. But they didn't have yellow.
But
All the others were so boring.
I know. But that's why I got these ones.
But isn't it nice?
We look like the two Ronnies.
Which one are you?
I'm obviously Ronnie Corbett because I'm little.
I was going to say Ronnie Coleman.
Not Ronnie Coleman, no.
Lightweight, baby, lightweight.
So look, we now have his and hers glasses. Look at your thing.
Don't they say that the longer you're together as a couple, the more you kind of merge into one?
God, I'm going to have ginger and grow a beard.
When did
Or a
I see
bigger
a
beard.
guy? I saw a guy yesterday.
Can you see with him on?
Yeah, I saw a guy yesterday. Transvestite, I forget what you call them. But no makeup.
Okay.
No makeup, long hair, but wearing kind of a very flowery...
A woman's dress.
But like a really kind of frumpy dress.
Floral, like a Les Dawson.
But it was a very strange combo. There was like no makeup, hair was like a bit dishevelled and wild, weird kind of cowboy boots, your favourite, you hate cowboy boot, and then this flowy little floral number from kind of...
like a Laura Ashley.
Yeah, what was that terrible show, not Brideshead Revisited, there was a show with Catherine Zeta-Jones based on a farm.
Oh.
Oh, good test.
No, this is so annoying because I need to Google. Darling Buds for me.
Yes, well done.
Ching.
So it was that kind of... It was just... I've just found it interesting.
Well, anyway, double glasses,
Wow.
right? I reckon, in the Specsavers in Kingston where we went,
they're all boring.
there was probably about 300 pairs of glasses. There were blue ones,
Look,
the green ones.
as Susie
Yours
said,
look shinier than mine.
look on YouTube and you'll see who looks better. It's pretty clear.
It's obviously me.
Pretty clear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You look like Brains from
Thank you.
I
have got another pair,
Thunderbirds.
which are more tortoiseshell.
Tortoiseshell.
Satisfying
Really
slap.
nice noises. Right.
Coffee left.
So tell us about what else you're up to now. So you've had quite a busy morning, haven't we?
Well, not really. Little
morning.
dog, bed dogging, and then had an online client, which was good, based in Gay Paris. Big into his photography. Big photography exhibition going on in Paris at the moment. And then, obviously, the usual discussion with a lot of clients about Trump.
Yes. What's the verdict on that then?
It's quite interesting. I'm not a fan of him, but he's very good at doing what the general public want. So this immigration thing, which he's really coming down on.
But is
so
it
he's
him?
got the whole.
Is it him though, or is it the people behind him?
Of course,
And he's
it's a whole
just
group of
the
advisors.
puppet?
But you know,
but he
you've got
doesn't
all
necessarily have to
But what's
agree.
amazing is he had this huge Latino vote, which no one was expecting, because he said to the Latinos, "You guys are all legal immigrants. We're going to kick out all these other people, so that no jobs will." And so suddenly they're like, "Oh yeah, great." I mean, it's amazing. I was seen him as classified as a true kind of racist and bigot, but he had this huge black and Latino vote. It made it, and no one was expecting that.
Yeah, but I don't think he does it out of the goodness of his heart in any shape or form.
No,
does
he loves the power, but it's quite interesting
is.
how he, we've seen this new one as well, where he wants to pass in Congress, I always forget which one it is, where basically you can only be classified as either male or female. And he's allowing that anyone that's had surgery, transgender surgery, under a certain age, they can now sue the surgeon direct if they're unhappy with it. But he's also making it illegal for anyone to have sex change, adult or junior. I mean, I kind of agree. 14-year-olds, I just think that's wrong. But
when they're very young, I think that's a bit of a big.
I mean, he's a kind of.
It's extreme.
It's a bit like Farage. It's like they just seem to kind of listen to the general pop and kind of. I don't know. I just don't. I don't feel very comfortable with the whole thing. I'm not going to get into politics. This is not a political podcast. However... But again, he's trying to pull out of...
Yeah, but how... What I can't... is how does someone who has such a criminal...
Well, yeah, he has actually been found
guilty. It's not allegedly.
Yeah.
Is now president of America again. Twice.
What's not once. 82nd and 85th,
twice.
Is it? I think the 85th president now.
Out of the whole country, there's not one other person.
Well, Biden screwed that up for just kept pulling out last minute, so they never got strong.
People who are desperate to get into power and politics in America. There must be like.
But we said thousands. This, like, there's a few of Amber's mates who did politics at school, and you ask them, would you ever want to become a politician? No. What type of person wants to become a politician?
Well, someone who loves being centre of attention. There must be like millions.
I mean, that Rory Stewart book I read was brilliant. He's a phenomenal...
Who, sorry?
Rory Stewart. The book I read about him travelling through Afghanistan without realising he was a politician at the time. That was a brilliant book. And then his new book, that's something he actually, I forget, very good. But he's very clear about how...
Yeah, but I think you have to be obviously a certain type of person to do it. It's not our bag at all, or my bag anyway. Anyway. So anyway, Trump, can't talk about it more.
Okay.
I mean, just the name Trump, if you're from the north of England, he's just Fart, isn't he? It's just called Fart. Let's call him Fart.
There we are.
The other thing I was going to just mention...
Oh dear.
...is the C word.
Cunnilingus.
Not that one.
Camping.
No. I don't know why they make it such a secret. People go, oh my God, I can't say the C word now. It's not the C word that I absolutely punch people for if they say.
See you next Tuesday.
That one. Christmas.
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
But we can't...
We're not going to talk about it.
I said to Flynn the other day, I could put the lights up. And he goes, you can't put them up yet. 1st of December.
What? You can put them up when you like.
No.
Actually, someone was saying that the other day, I saw saying that why do we have such a big go at people putting up Christmas decorations early if it makes them happy?
Okay.
Well, it's getting like
you
we were
look
just
like
talking
a
about
Christmas
it.
tree. And you got happy written on.
Happy, see?
There we are.
Make yourself happy. But you know, if it makes people happy, it brightens their day. When they come home, makes
we're
them
famous
smile.
for our Christmas lights around the house.
Exactly, makes them smile.
It's
then
cheesier every year.
why not? Why not leave them up all year? Who cares?
Well, Father Christmas would get very confused to
Maybe
start
not
with.
Christmas decorations, but lights around your house. Make it look pretty.
Pretty. Well, one of our lights can be seen from space. It's so light.
Pretty much. The first time you brought that home, before we did up this house, we put it up in the hallway. I don't know.
Yes.
Do you remember? I don't know why we did that.
No one could sleep.
I think it was the only big space that we could attach it to.
It is brilliant. Big blue.
Yeah, but from outside, it looked like we'd gone back to the 80s and people, you know, used to drive past people's houses and they had a sunbed.
Or the butchers.
Well,
you know, when they got those
sunbed.
blue lights cleaning the flies.
People used to have sunbeds in their houses and you'd know they had a sunbed.
You could rent them.
We had one. My mum had one.
What?
Yeah.
Did you go in it?
Yeah, of course. It was one you like wheeled under the bed and you put it over your bed.
Well, it wasn't both sides.
No.
Just on top.
Top toasting.
Jesus. I mean, if you think about
You had it standing in your room and you should put it over. It was... but you used to go on, but that was like obviously licensed or what I was going to say, but like unsupervised as far as you could go on it for like hours if you wanted, you know, put it on a timer or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas at least now I suppose some bed places are you go for like 2 minutes or, you know, they build you up in theory.
You see the Spotify guy, and his name, has produced this new scanning device called a Neko. And he's trying to make it more affordable for everyone. So it's really good at skin mapping, moling, cardiovascular health, artery health, blah, blah, blah. 200 quid. You stand in it. I don't know how long it takes. One of the clients was going for it yesterday, so I'll find out a bit more. But yeah, he's quite clever.
What would it say about all your freckles though?
Angel's kisses. It would have
Angel's kisses. Specific.
I've got one on my willy. So the question is
to know that.
The question is, did the angel only kiss it once and go, woo,
get away from that. Jesus.
Everywhere else I'm covered in them. But yeah.
Nowhere near that.
Angel's kisses.
Your mum told you that, didn't she?
A night sky without stars It's like a face without freckles.
Okay.
Everyone knows that.
Okay.
It was but my dad, who's got freckles,
Sorry, what was meant for your dad? The angel's kiss on your
he
willy?
hated his freckles, so he used to get brown paper and vinegar and rub it on his skin to try and get rid of his freckles.
And he was also left-handed, and he got that beaten out of him.
Yeah, got hit and wrapped around the knuckles.
It's madness, isn't it? Just because you're left-handed.
I mean, you could spend 3 hours under a sun lamp.
But that's the 80s. We're talking further back in time. Okay. He didn't get wrapped on the knuckle in the 80s.
No, I wonder when.
But you would have done. You were at school. Didn't you have like caning?
Well, they used to tell me off because left-handers, tend to smear when you write.
And you had proper like fountain pens back then.
Yeah,
didn't you?
inkwells.
Yes, inkwells
and a feather.
Gus.
Yeah. So I was told, but you see, a lot of left-handers used to turn the write it weirdly.
Yeah, sideways or a lot.
I didn't have to because I didn't write much.
Tried not to write.
But yeah. Very strange.
But no one told you off for being left-handed, apart from smearing the paper.
No, apart from smearing it. I can't remember.
Bad behaviour, you used to get whacked.
I think I was one of the last to get beaten.
What does beaten mean?
Hit with a cane.
Oh, okay. Actually.
No, not beaten up. Yeah.
So this is 80s.
A slipper.
It's 80s.
Yeah.
It's madness, isn't it? I mean, for us, the 80s doesn't seem that long ago, but actually...
Well, you can't smack your kids now, can you? I mean, I'm not talking about uppercut. I'm talking about, I used to slap their hands, our kids, which is taboo and you shouldn't. But sometimes when you reach a limit, you're like, well, apart from, I don't know, waterboarding them.
So I think now people just obviously, because kids have technology or whatever. We sit them on the naughty step as well. Try that. That's flipping.
Amber used to say she'd ring Childline.
Yeah, well, she still does. I you can't anymore. You're 19.
She actually knew the number.
You're not a child. Yeah, because imagine the hysteria of kids at school. I've seen. There's actually relevant. There's a little clip on. I can't remember what it's for, but it was like an advert or it's like a little clip from a film where this kid calls the police because his mum has hit him with a belt.
Ooh.
It's in America. Hit him with a belt. So the policemen turn up. 2 policemen turn up to the door, and they were going. She's going, well, why did you call the police? He said, because my mum hit me with a belt. And she said, he's been skipping school and he's been doing this. She said, so they took the child down the other end of the pathway, this big sort of burly policeman, and said, right, what's been going on? Why have you been skipping school? And has this happened before? Has she hit you before? No, it was like a one-off. So he went, right, do not waste police time by calling the police on your mother for hitting you, for misbehaving, for missing school, for cutting class, whatever it was. Ooh. And I mean, it's a film or something. It's not real.
Oh, it's not real.
No, it's not real. It's not real. It's not real. But it was a good story because it was like you've wasted police time calling it on your mum, who's literally just had enough of you.
But that policeman could get struck off if that was real, Suzie.
The other policeman was like, I don't think we should be doing this. But anyway, but it was like teaching him a lesson. Just say, look, if you don't go back to school and be polite and say sorry to your mum, I'll take my belt off and hit you with my belt's much bigger. Oof. Like that. All right.
Nice. P's and Q's.
So it's a bit of tough love, scaring the kid because he's only little, but just to say, look, get a grip, man. Get a grip.
In it.
Anyway, on that note, take your belt off. I'm going to whack you with your belt because you've been very naughty.
No, I've been good.
You got the same glasses as me, and I'm very upset about it.
But we don't cross paths.
Cross swords.
Yes. Or kiss. Enough.
Or kiss. Or sleep in the same bed at the minute.
I know. It's been like 2 weeks. I was ill for a week.
No, before that, I was not sleeping. There was a proper actual insomniac phase.
Would you call it that?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, so I was paranoid about waking you up.
Buble. He's insomniac, is that correct?
Yeah. And then you had the sick bug. Mm. And then I've had the sick bug. Mm. But now we're okay.
We're good now.
So we might actually sleep in the same bed tonight, if you're lucky. Could be your lucky night.
Will you be doing any trumpeting? Not bottom half, top half.
So rude. Honestly, I've just given him a nice offer.
Okay, no, I'm accepting the offer.
And all you're worried about is my snoring.
We don't call it snoring, Suzie.
I think it's okay. I don't think it's a bad thing, and people shouldn't feel stigmatised if to sleep in a different bed. If not all the time, forever and ever. But not feel guilty about it because actually you're being kind to yourself, you're being kind to that other person by allowing them to have a good sleep.
So you're saying we should be like Victorian parents now?
No.
Hello, good morning, my dear.
That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
I hope the day treats you well.
Should not make it such a big deal. It shouldn't be. If you're having a shit sleep,
Language,
go and
Suzie,
sleep
please.
in the other room. No, go and sleep in the other room because.
What if they don't have another room?
Well, then you find an alternative sofa or something that you can get sleep, the other person gets sleep, and then everybody's much nicer to everybody. If no one has a good sleep,
Goes back to
cranky.
sleep again. Goes back to sleep.
Exactly. So make it a thing. Make it work for you, if that's what you need to do. Don't lie there going, oh my God, if I go and sleep in the other room, our marriage is over. No.
All right.
It's probably prolongs it. It'll be over if you start arguing and
yes, and everyone's ratty.
Exactly.
You know what you're like in the morning anyway. Lovely.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyway,
thanks very much.
Thanks very much. G-lock. No, come on. G-lock.
You don't even know how to do it.
We could do our one. No, we can't show
No,
ours. Our
that's
secret.
secret.
Episode tweet. Over and out.